Right, welcome back to Charlie's Edition, and we've already talked about in part 1 and 2 the difference between a top and a bottom when it comes to gay sex. So if you have not checked those out, be sure to do that. And now I'm going to talk about versatility, what versatility is and what that basically means. So, here we go. Oh, God. Right, sexual versatility is one of the aspects and pleasures of gay life. One is not required to only be a top or a bottom, or only vanilla, which of course you guys should know what vanilla means because I talked about it in last week's show. Many gay men are capable of changing their sexual role depending upon the sexual circumstances or the physical characteristics of their sexual partner. For instance, a gay man may prefer to be a top when his partner is younger or slight of build, while preferring to get screwed by an older man or someone who is perceived as very butch. He might also be altering his own role to suit his partner's, be the perfect complement to another man who is a dyed-in-the-wool top or bottom. Some men also think of themselves as having both male and female characteristics. When feeling male, they want to screw, while wanting to get screwed when they're feeling female. For whatever reason, the sexual fluctuation man has opened his body for pleasure. Versatile is one of the keywords found in profiles on internet gay sites. It opens up a greater range of potential partners and sexual activities that would otherwise be possible. As such, is a distinct advantage. There's only one potential problem in this heavily state of affairs. While it's okay to please another man's sexual desires, it's not okay to ignore your own. If your sexual behavior is oriented only toward pleasing your partner, you'll make it impossible for him to know how to please you. This is never a problem for a trick, but it will become troublesome in a long-lasting relationship. So yeah, don't be getting other people off or talking about, oh, I only want to get you off, and then they don't even try to help to make you feel good. Right, there's something else in here that I was going to talk about as well. I lost the page. I'll look for it here. Alright, I'm back. I had to find the subject. But basically the next part I want to talk about is booze and highs. Yes, people who drink a lot or get high, poppers, whatever the case may be, etc. while having sex, and why pros bad things about it. So, here we go. Booze and highs. By the age of 30, many gay men have had the following experience. You wake up one Saturday or Sunday morning, only to find a naked man in your bed with you. His head is on your chest, and he's licking the hair around your nipple. You look at him, and haven't the foggiest idea who he, or how he, or you got there. Hi, honey, the naked man says as he nuzzles your ear. Would you like to make me your breakfast? Only then do you realize that you also don't know where you are. Amusing stories like this and many variations are often told in the gay community. As a unique experience, it retains its humor. When it occurs more than once, it's a sign that you're having blackouts, a sure symptom of alcoholism. You guys, once again, forgive me if I can't read right. Really, God, having issues today. Alcoholism is widespread in the gay community. There is also evidence that the incidence of alcoholism is greater in the gay community than the straight community, and that this difference gets larger yet when comparing gay and straight teenagers. Gay men subject themselves to the devastation of excessive drinking for many reasons. In an earlier edition of this book, we said that the insidious effect of homophobia was the primary reason. For most of the past century, gay men could meet only in a seedy, mafia-owned, police-controlled bars in large cities, or furtively during late-night encounters in parks or woodlands, or in public toilets, tea rooms. As a result, gay men were forced to socialize in bars and around liquor. Gay men were subject to capricious interrogation by police, to entrapment, and to seeing their names published in local newspapers under the headline, "Perverts Arrested." Little wonder gay men invariably felt ashamed of their sexual orientation and guilty over their sexual desires. Still, with the advent of gay liberation and its successes, homophobia can no longer be identified as the primary reason gay men become alcoholic. Drinking has always been used to oil our social inhibitions. A drink or two gave a man more courage to ask another man to dance or for a date and made rejection of the offer less painful. Repeated rejections often led to repeated drinks, or worse yet, ingesting other drugs together with alcohol. Feeling yourself a part of the special crowd of gay men is another reason some men become addicted to alcohol. In time, and after a night of excessive drinking, you wake up in the morning only to discover you've traded your sense of inferiority and fear of rejection for a troublesome chemical dependency. Many men start drinking when they are teenagers, some of the children of alcoholic parents. A considerable body of research shows that alcoholism runs in families. Children of alcoholic parents tell stories of violence in the family, times when the child came to the rescue of his mother, who was being beaten by a drunken father. All the more of a surprise that these teens often become alcoholic themselves. Some alcoholism specialists believe that the tendency towards alcoholism is inherited and that a gene in our bodies predisposes some of us to do it. Others think it is learned as a way of coping with stress and conflict. Almost everyone drinks on occasion, and few gay men can claim to have lived a totally alcohol-free life. Experts generally call these people drug users. You probably are one. Most of us are. Users, however, do not have problems with chemical dependence. The next category is drug abusers, including those who cannot perform sexually without alcohol or drugs or both. Drug abusers also suffer other bad consequences from drinking or drug taking, such as poor judgment in choosing sex partners, spending money stupidly, or falling down on the job. The first stage of abuse is often hard to detect, since your ostensible purpose in frequenting bars is to search for romance or sex. You'll scarcely notice that your tricking has declined and your drinking has increased. I need a drink. Really? Sorry, y'all. Drug addiction occurs when you lose the power to make choices about your drinking and drug taking. Chemical dependence becomes what's more important in your life. More important than sex, friends, family, your job. People who abuse drugs find that in time, how good you feel from taking the booze or pills evaporates and is replaced by how badly you begin to feel and how completely you screw up your life. Alcohol specialists now describe alcoholism as alcoholmopia. The abuse of alcohol narrows your sense of self and your social judgment, creating a form of nearsightedness, or called disinhabilitation, or something. Most people feel inhibited and shy at times. Alcohol and drugs remove those inhibitions, making them feel bolder. Which is actually very true, because when I have drinks, like a beer or something, I feel like I can get out on the dance floor and dance and not be embarrassed or anything. Before the drink, can't do that. It's crazy. But I'm not an alcoholic. But inhibitions and caution are sometimes good, sometimes appropriate to a situation. Alcoholmophobia leads to many problems. The use of alcohol and drugs is the primary reason gay men practice unsafe sex and become infected with the HIV. Dishabitation also leads to other unsafe practices in which physical harm or illness may occur. Men under the influence of alcohol choose riskier and more promiscuous men for partners when drunk than they would when sober. A problem for HIV positive men is that alcohol interferes with the effectiveness of protease inhibitors, since both drugs are metabolized in your liver. When combined with another disinhibitor, such as the social environment of a dance club, alcohol can lead to your ingesting one or more party drugs whose contents may be unknown. Be particularly careful about drinking alcohol and taking ecstasy in the same evening, since both can cause dehydration and even riskier prospects. Combined with your water loss from sweating on the dance floor, dehydration becomes triply hazardous. Deaths have resulted from the combination of alcohol and ecstasy. While dancing, you should drink water or soft drinks or sports drinks constantly. In addition, men under the influence of alcohol or recreational drugs may easily be robbed, beaten up, or sexually assaulted. Most men don't talk about those experiences, and the gay press seldom writes about them, adding to this conspiracy of silence. And if these problems weren't enough, alcohol and drug abuse inhibit your immune system and can lead to an additional decline in T cells, another danger. If all this sounds grim, and it is, there is help. If you have an abuse or addiction problem, you should join Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous, listed in the phone book. Most large cities have gay AA and Al-Anon meetings. You'll meet other people who are also seeking to cope with alcoholism, and because anybody can have a booze or a drug problem, you may end up meeting people at these meetings who become important in other personal and career ways. Alright, so that's basically all I'm going to read on that topic. So, yes, very interesting. And you know that there are a lot of people who do have problems with getting high and drinking alcohol when at clubs and stuff like that. And that's just how a lot of things happen. So, be sure to be careful out there, you guys, because it's very important. So, pretty much, I basically covered my 3 topics that I wanted to talk about tonight here on Charlie's Edition. So be sure to go back on videos 1, 2, and 3. I think this is the 3rd one. Yes, it's the 3rd one. I'm tired tonight, you guys. So be sure to leave your comments or your questions or any topics that you would like to hear about right here on the show. And we can talk about it next week or something like that. So be sure to stay for that. Anyway, I actually have a last part coming up next. I want to talk about Miss Charlize for a minute. So stay tuned to part 4 of Charlie's Edition. We'll be right back after this.